It started with a quiet moment that no one saw coming. Kim Kardashian, one of the most recognizable faces in the world, looked straight into the camera and revealed something that left even her biggest critics speechless. For years, we've seen her navigate fame, family drama, heartbreak, and scandal. But this time, it wasn't about business or controversy. It was about survival. In a preview for the new season of The Kardashians, Kim dropped a revelation that sent shockwaves across social media. She'd been diagnosed with a little aneurysm in her brain. The words were calm, almost casual, but fans instantly knew. This was serious. A brain aneurysm isn't something you can brush off. It's the kind of diagnosis that can change everything in an instant. Her sister Kourtney's face said it all. Shock, fear, and confusion. The world's most powerful reality star, who seems to have everything under control, was suddenly facing a health crisis that money or fame couldn't fix. But the real question everyone was asking was, how did this happen? How does a woman who appears so composed and unstoppable end up with something so dangerous lurking inside her? What Kim said next might just hold the answer. When Kim first mentioned the words, "a little aneurysm," fans around the world froze. It wasn't the kind of headline you expect from a reality TV preview. It was the kind that makes your heart skip a beat. The clip showed her lying inside an MRI machine, her face calm but her eyes revealing something deeper: fear. Moments later, Kim shared the news with her family, telling them what doctors had discovered: a small aneurysm in her brain. Kourtney's reaction was instant: disbelief and concern, the kind that only a sister could feel. For a family that's lived nearly every emotion on camera, this moment hit differently. It wasn't about fame, fortune, or fashion. It was about life itself. Brain aneurysms, as doctors explain, can be silent and invisible until they're not. And when they rupture, the consequences can be devastating. Fans took to social media, expressing shock and support, with many saying they couldn't believe how calmly Kim spoke about something so terrifying. But in that same moment of fear, Kim's vulnerability made her more human than ever. Beneath the glamour and headlines was a woman quietly dealing with something potentially fatal, and trying to stay strong for her kids. Still, one detail stood out more than anything. Doctors told her it wasn't genetics or diet, it was stress. And for Kim Kardashian, stress wasn't just an occasional feeling. It had become a constant part of her life. For most people, stress means a bad week at work or a sleepless night. But for Kim Kardashian, stress meant juggling empires, exams, and emotional chaos, all at once. When doctors told her that her brain aneurysm was likely triggered by extreme stress, it wasn't hard to see why. Behind the polished Instagram photos and billion-dollar brand deals, Kim's life was anything but calm. She was preparing to take the bar exam, determined to continue her late father's legal legacy, a mission that had already tested her mentally and emotionally. At the same time, she was traveling to Paris, facing haunting memories from her 2016 armed robbery case, one of the most traumatic events of her life. And while all of that was unfolding, she was also trying to navigate a painful and public divorce from Kanye West. Their split wasn't just tabloid drama, it was deeply personal, and filled with emotional ups and downs that the whole world was watching. It's no wonder her body finally hit a breaking point. The pressure to be perfect, as a mom, a mogul, a law student, and a global icon, came crashing down. Kim later admitted that she had been under more pressure than ever before. Fans began to realize something powerful. Even someone as strong and composed as Kim Kardashian can't outrun the weight of stress. Behind every red carpet and business success was a woman running on empty, trying to hold it all together while her health silently fought back. It all began with curiosity, and a gut feeling that something wasn't right. Kim Kardashian decided to take a Prenuvo scan, a full-body MRI that's been gaining attention among celebrities for detecting hidden health issues before symptoms appear. For Kim, it wasn't just a trend, it was a precaution. But what she didn't expect was that it would uncover something potentially life-threatening. As she explained on Good Morning America, the Prenuvo results sent her on a whirlwind of further testing. "I had to end up going and getting tons of other brain scans at Cedars-Sinai with all the team," she told Robin Roberts. The tone in her voice was calm, but the message was clear. Things had gotten serious fast. Behind the scenes, doctors ran test after test, trying to understand the size, location, and risk of the aneurysm. Kim, known for her composure and chaos, found herself in unfamiliar territory, waiting, worrying, and wondering what came next. Yet, even in that uncertainty, she held on to her calm. And then, after weeks of questions, came a rare moment of relief. "Just tune in next week," she teased. But everything works out. It was the update fans had been desperate to hear, but it also hinted at how close she may have come to a real medical emergency. The Prenuvo scan, which Kim called life-changing, has become a wake-up call for many of her fans. People began booking their own scans, inspired by her courage to take health into her own hands. Kim didn't just uncover a diagnosis. She started a conversation about early detection and self-care that few celebrities ever dare to have. But even after getting the all-clear, Kim's outlook on life had changed forever, because what she said next showed just how deeply the scare had shaken her. After the panic and uncertainty finally settled, Kim Kardashian appeared on Good Morning America with a different kind of message, one that was calm, grounded, and full of perspective. She wasn't there to promote a product or a new business venture. This time, she was speaking straight from experience. "It's just a good measure to go. Make sure that you always check everything," she said earnestly. "Health is wealth, and you just have to be careful with everything that you do." It was a rare moment of vulnerability from a woman often seen as untouchable. A billionaire, a beauty mogul, a mother, and a global icon. But her words cut through the glamour and landed with sincerity. Fans flooded social media, echoing her message and sharing their own health scares. For once, Kim wasn't selling luxury. She was selling awareness. Her statement wasn't just a throwaway line. It was a reflection of a deeper change. After facing the terrifying possibility of something as serious as a brain aneurysm, Kim had learned what truly mattered. The designer bags, red carpets, and headlines all faded into the background. What remained was gratitude and a renewed commitment to self-care. In a world obsessed with appearances, Kim reminded everyone that true wealth isn't about status or success. It's about staying alive to enjoy them. And yet, behind her calm smile, fans couldn't help but wonder, had years of emotional strain, from heartbreak to public battles, played a bigger role in her health than she let on? Long before the diagnosis, Kim Kardashian was already carrying an invisible weight. Her divorce from Kanye West wasn't just a split between two celebrities. It was the unraveling of a life she had spent nearly a decade building. To the public, it was tabloid gold. But behind the headlines was a woman quietly breaking down while trying to stay strong for her 4 children. In her interview on Call Her Daddy, Kim spoke with rare honesty about the painful reality of her marriage. She admitted that there had been signs, moments when things didn't feel right. But she ignored them, hoping love could fix everything. "When someone has their first mental break," she said softly, "you want to be supportive. You want to help them figure it out." Her voice cracked slightly, revealing years of exhaustion behind her trademark composure. But love alone wasn't enough. Kim said Kanye wasn't willing to make changes, describing how the relationship slowly became toxic. And even then, she hesitated to leave. Not because she wanted to stay, but because she didn't want to destroy her children's sense of family. "When you have kids," she explained, "it's definitely harder to leave than it is to stay, and it changes everyone's life forever." It was a confession that hit millions of viewers hard. For the first time, Kim's perfect image cracked, and what poured through was real, raw emotion. The constant stress of public scrutiny, co-parenting challenges, and emotional turmoil had taken its toll. And perhaps, as doctors suggested, that same stress had silently manifested inside her body as the aneurysm that nearly changed her life. Kim had been through the kind of pressure few could endure. Emotional chaos at home, unrelenting fame, and the need to always appear in control. But her story was far from over, because what came next would redefine how fans, and maybe even Kim herself, saw her forever. When you strip away the fame, the filters, and the flashing cameras, what's left of Kim Kardashian is something few people ever see: resilience. She's not just the face of billion-dollar brands or the woman who redefined reality television. She's a survivor who's learned the hard way that strength isn't about perfection. It's about endurance. In the months following her diagnosis, Kim appeared calmer, more grounded, and deeply reflective. The woman who once lived in the fast lane seemed to have hit the brakes, at least for a moment. Her health scare forced her to pause, to look at her life not through the lens of fame, but through the fragility of being human. As a mother of 4, North, St. Chicago, and